This is the age in which we live, the days leading up to the time when Dot, the sacred number 11, is brought back into the tree of life in order to be set the task of supplying the deficiency from the north that I revealed in Lesson 1. When Dot was cast out of the tree of life, which is the sacred number 110, a natural doubling in the Gematria occurred, the sacred number 99, which in the Kabbalah of the Fathers is known as the sacred double nine. For the sacred double nine was formed when 1/10 of the tree of life was cast out, leaving a vacuum for the creation of the little face, which is both the sacred numbers 6 and 5, and they are the complement of the sacred number 11, as we shall see. For without the continual transformation of the sacred key, all would cease to be. Here is the gematrial sequence of how the sacred key came to be for those of you who wish to receive. In Keter, which is nothingness, the outer vessel was the sacred number 110, absolute unity, the sacred number 1 on the tree of life. In Bina, which is womb, the outer vessel became the sacred gematrial sequence 55, crown and sovereignty, the sacred number 2 on the tree of life. In Chokhmah, which is the primordial point, the outer vessel became the sacred gematrial sequence 45, crown, beauty, and sovereignty, the sacred number 3 on the tree of life. And here we pause. It is this gematrial sequencing of the tree of life that created the inner vessel within the outer vessel, the sequencing that forms the celestial number 3. For Keter, Bina, Chokhmah form an equilateral triangle, which is known in the Kabbalah of the Fathers as the celestial phallus, that partially created the little face. And the sum of the sacred numbers of this celestial triangle's angles equal the sacred number 6, for the angle of Keter, which is 1, plus the angle of Bina, which is 2, plus the angle of Chokhmah, which is 3, equals 6. But now I want to regress and explain what happened between Keter and Bina between Bina and Chokhmah. Between Keter and Bina, space unfolded within itself, creating two parallel universes, crown and sovereignty, two celestial reflections equal to one another, 55. This was the first emanation of the tree of life, and the Holy One was still lonely. Between Bina and Chokhmah, space folded within itself, and crown and sovereignty conceived, and within the outer vessel's womb, the inner vessel beauty, the sacred number 20, incubated. For from crown 10 was given, and from sovereignty 10 was also given to the new entity beauty, a reflection that was caught between the reflection of two others, transforming the outer vessel into the gematrial sequence 4510, 1045. And this was the second emanation of the tree of life. And the Holy One was still lonely. But here is where I wish to pause again and point out a cosmic event in the tree of life's emanation, which is to say the tree of life's tohu. Here is what happened during this celestial conception, if you are able to receive this. Crown transformed himself into the sacred number 45, and sovereignty transformed herself into the sacred number 45, with the newly formed entity beauty between and within them. This means that in the second stage of the emanation of the tree of life, which is Bina, crown and sovereignty became one entity again, transforming themselves into the sacred number 90, which is the sacred number 9 times the sacred number 10, and between and within their womb, the sacred number 20 incubated. This is the mystery of Bina, the celestial womb, the sacred number 90. It is at this instant, when the celestial womb was formed, that the revelation of how sovereignty became transformed after the tikkun occurred through the creation of the sacred number 99, which is to say the sacred double nine. For the pre-existing sacred number 9 of the sacred double nine and the sacred number 10 became one within the other after the tikkun, as Rabbi Isaac Luria of blessed memory taught his disciples when he said, "When this light reached the base, 2 illuminations entered it, one for the sphere itself and one to transmit to the next sphere sovereignty. Since the amount of light was so brilliant, the base could not bear the 2 illuminations and shattered like the others. By the time this light reached sovereignty, it was contained within her, and sovereignty was not destroyed. She was able to receive and bear the light, and sovereignty transformed herself into a new entity. This is the real meaning of the scripture that says, 'The son of Jesse lives upon the earth.' Therefore, the base is called the foundation of life." Now, what does this teaching of Rabbi Luria's mean? I will explain it in the lesson on the sacred double nine.